Hey y'all, thanks for joining us for another episode of 911 Delta Tethered for Life. This podcast may not be suitable to all listeners due to language and subject matters. Please listen with care. All right, guys, I know it's a little bit late in the day for our release. Better late than never, right? I have a little surprise for you at the end, though. If you have ever worked in our public safety building and you know about Carol Ann, listen all the way to the end, past the music, for your surprise. Hey y'all, welcome to another episode of 911 Delta Tethered for Life. We're your hosts, Anna and
Casey.
Thanks for joining us on this in-between holidays week.
Yes. So how was your Christmas?
I survived it and I'm glad that it's over until next year.
Me
Yay!
too. Woohoo!
One of these days, I'm going to change my feeling about that. That's one of my goals. We decided next week we were going to talk about goals. Well, one of my goals is to eventually change my feeling about Christmas and make it a more manageable time than it currently is. So,
yeah, it was the hustle and bustle. It's just too much for such a quick time. Once it's here, it's like, okay, now the day's over. But we had a really nice Christmas too. Not too much. Of course, we don't have a lot of family left, really. So, and my kids are grown, so I don't have to worry about the whole Santa thing, really. And just ate good, and that was it.
Is it weird this year because Christmas was Monday and then everybody had to work on Tuesday, which I think is really stupid.
That was totally stupid.
I don't know about everybody, but a lot of people around here either had the day off Friday or they had a half day Friday. They got to go to work on Tuesday. Like what?
Yeah.
That's stupid. So
Yeah, because usually the festivities go pretty late. I mean, at least it used to for us. But now, like I said, that the kids are older and don't want to stick around too long. With the parents, they haul ass, and so I think we were in bed probably by like 6:30.
Oh my God.
I know, it was great.
I think my parents left around that time. So, but it's like, yeah, that just makes it a long day. And then you got to be like back at work and doing like the whole thing. Now, of course, if you're still a shift worker, you don't care because it's whatever. It's all the same, I guess.
That's right. That double time and a half. Cha-ching.
I do miss that.
Almost worth it. Almost. Yes, I definitely miss that too.
I definitely miss that double time and a half money. But now I feel like I have a different responsibility because of having little kids. And then my husband's family, it's more of an important holiday to them. And he's not on shift work anymore. Like my family, it really doesn't matter because my dad was in the military, so it doesn't matter. Like we don't care. Like Christmas can be whatever day you want it to be. I don't know, like I definitely miss, but then I feel like my husband will be like, why you gonna sign up to work Christmas? Like, you know?
Because of the money, fool.
I think it's really funny because I hear public safety people all the time whining about working in the holidays. I don't remember as a kid being like, oh, damn it, dad's not here for another Christmas.
Right.
I don't even remember what Christmases he was here for and which ones he wasn't. So I guess kudos to mom and the rest of the family for like working that through.
Well, and as far as the whining and stuff, I mean, you signed your ass up for it when you pick this career. It's kind of a
true,
I
yeah.
mean, you knew you were going to be essential, and that includes holidays, unfortunately. So
it's just funny. It's a different sort of, I feel like it's a different beast between public safety and military in that respect.
Yeah, I didn't have anyone in my family military. Working it myself was a PETA, which is a boob word, pain in the ass.
So how do you feel like you balanced that? Because when I was doing it, I didn't have kids, so I didn't really care.
Well, at first, it seemed like the job and the family just worked. Like it was new, it was exciting, the money was great. But then as the years went by faster and faster, and the kids were getting older, it kind of started hitting me like, damn, you've really missed out on a lot. Now, of course, the kids, like you said for yourself, could have given two shits if I was there or not. But we did switch around, like when we had Christmas, obviously, if I worked, which was pretty much every Christmas, um, it seemed like. Um, so if you worked Christmas and you knew, then obviously you would be off the next week for New Year's, which is my wedding anniversary is New Year's Eve. So I'd of course rather do work Christmas than New Year's Eve, but
Gotcha. Yeah, and you know what? Working New Year's Eve just generally offends my sensibilities. Like this is one of those things where it's like this is a boundary. I'm part-time. They actually need people usually. It's a damn weekend day. It's not a holiday. You're not going to get paid extra. You
yep,
know it's going to be a shit show, right?
yep,
I'm not doing it. It's just against my like I don't have to anymore. And you know what? If it was a weekday, they'd at least give you 4 hours of holiday pay because the people that work 9 to 5 for the freaking county wouldn't want to be working all day,
right.
right? So they would want their afternoon free. So you get, but since it's a damn weekend day, no. And public safety people are actually going to have to work. The
Yes.
rest of y'all been sitting in the office all damn week not doing a thing,
Now
right?
I will attest to that because now that I'm not a dispatcher, I
You
do
know, right?
work
What y'all been doing this week? Nothing. Nothing, right?
at a damn thing.
Right.
Um, everyone, like a lot of people are not feeling well in the office, and there's in December, like this is my only second Christmas at the office, which for those of you who don't know, I don't think I've ever really said what I do now, but admin for a fire department. Um, a lot of people are off, and December is kind of really quiet. Like there's just nobody there. I think today we did
Who
have
said the
quite a few
Q word?
folks. Yeah, I did.
That
I
shit is
did.
on tomorrow.
Well, I mean, that'd be nice because I think literally today the phone only rang twice.
Yeah, but you know, like in dispatch, you're looking at your EMS calls, your medical calls usually go up.
Mm-hmm.
Your deaths normally go up. Everybody wants to everybody wants to see their family, but then they want to fight with their family.
Yep, so a lot of
So,
domestics.
right, so then you got the domestics. I mean, the other night I had one where they were in the middle of a fight and poor grandpa done DFO'd.
Oh Lord,
Yeah. Yeah. And um yeah.
poor
Yeah.
critter.
Yeah, exactly. And then apparently his daughter was not terribly sympathetic about it either. If you're
Yeah, I
going to
don't
be that
either.
way, like why even bother? You get more mental cases, you get more overdoses,
Yes.
more suicides,
Oh,
more
yes.
alcohol, more everything,
Yep.
right?
Doesn't stop for the holiday, that's for sure.
No, not at all.
Even if the holiday is on a Sunday, it don't matter.
Well, right. And then like the longer the weekend is, the worse it is as far as
Yep.
domestics, right? Because the longer people are locked up and if the weather's bad, oh my God,
Yep.
they're
Them
locked up in the
football
house
games
together.
coming on and Dallas is losing. Just just kidding, people.
Well, some of these Chiefs aren't
No, they are not doing good. Oh
woo.
my gosh.
Anyway.
Almost embarrassing. I'd rather watch college ball anyways than NFL, but I don't
Yeah.
really watch NFL for the game.
So yeah, we got the football fights. And then, Fire World. You're gonna have more accidents because there's all kinds of people traveling,
and more drinking. So,
right? And more drinking.
yep.
And when they're traveling, they're not gonna know where they are when they've now crashed their car. I mean, I had one the other night. It's like there's a little green sign on the side of the road, and it's every 10th of a mile, and it has numbers on it. Can you find it? Yeah,
No,
yeah. So speaking of like fire calls, house fires, they tend to be more prevalent this time of year because of the Christmas decorations and Christmas trees.
oh, well, I don't want me on that radio for that.
Well, what happens when you're call taking? Do you feel like people are more like distressed? Do they even recognize that it's a holiday, or are they just like, oh, my house is on fire?
No, because I think with the fire calls like that, the structure fires, pretty much everyone that I've taken, people are like really hyped up.
I remember, and I think it was around Christmas time. I had a guy one time. What's the address of your emergency? He gives me his address. First clue right there. The shit's done hit the fan because he answered my first question,
Right.
right? Oh, what you got for me, buddy? And he's like, my house is on fire. It, that's it. The house is on fire. Then, it clicks in and you're like, so is everybody out of the house? Oh, yeah, it's just me and my daughter. We're standing outside. And I'm thinking to myself, watching it burn.
Fa
But
la 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 la.
exactly, right? He was totally like, yeah, shit's gonna burn down. I don't know what to do about it. Kudos to him. But, because of this weather, then law enforcement ends up with a lot of just property damage only accidents too.
Yep.
So they got PDO accidents when some people are hysterical just because of the property damage, not anything to do with anybody being injured. Now you've got your domestic calls added to that. Being in the comm center is not that peaceful. Like there are some slower times, but it's definitely not like everybody's on their best behavior because it's Christmas.
Yeah, definitely not. Don't have to worry
Looking
about going out.
right, looking back, what advice would you give people in hindsight about balancing the work and family over the holidays, and especially for night shifters? Because I think it's harder for night shifters since families don't tend to understand that schedule and how you
No,
don't work on a lot of sleep. So,
yeah, definitely not. I remember those times, and that was awful. Um, well, my first advice is if you think it's going to be an issue, don't become dispatcher or public safety because, one way or another, you're going to have to work around it. And it's also a career that obviously you should talk to your family about, especially if you're married or whatnot, because it is going to affect them. It's going to affect everybody. It's not just you. What
mm,
about you? Any advice that you would give?
I would say definitely get on the same page with your family. Like I said, for me, it wasn't so bad with my family because they get it, right? My husband, he worked shift work too, but he worked 24. So if he was off, it was just like, a regular day. But for me, even if I was off, maybe I worked the night before, or maybe I wasn't off and I had to work that night. And so that is always tricky, for a night shift. Like you gotta get your sleep or your rest or your whatever in there. And if you're running around trying to do stuff during the day and then work at night, you're just gonna kill yourself. And it's not good for your health. It's already difficult enough on your body to work night shift, so don't make it more difficult.
It's a lot easier if the family just goes along with it and
Everybody get on the same page. Coming from the military brat background, doesn't have to be Christmas, doesn't have to be on Christmas, doesn't freaking matter when you do Christmas. You can do it any day you want, any day, any day, any day.
yep.
Um, you know, Santa makes concessions, and I realized that people want to take off during the holidays, and other people want to step in and take that overtime. One, to be nice, two, to make money,
Hmm.
but set some boundaries there so that you have control over what you're doing and you're not just stepping in out of guilt. And yeah, if they don't want to pay you overtime for New Year's Eve and you don't have to work it, don't do that shit. Don't do it.
Just
Gonna
stay
regret
home and
it.
drink.
Stay home and drink, right? Because you're gonna regret it. And so, all that being said, sunshine,
Mm.
um,
Oh
we
my God.
we said that we were going to talk about goal setting and all of that tonight, but I think we decided we were going to do that next week because it's really going to be the beginning of the year.
Yes. So that's why tonight we're kind of just chit-chatting and not really on a specific topic per se.
Yeah, chit-chatting about the fun or not so fun of working during the holidays and how do we can support each other doing that and just being honest with the family about what's going to be stressful and what's not going to be. I think that's the important part, right? Just like
Yeah.
support each other in the comm center and then also um but don't over support, right? Like if somebody on the other night shift takes off, doesn't mean you have to step in and work. Like
Yep.
um it's not your responsibility to make sure they're staffing. There's
It
somebody that
is.
gets paid more than you for that. So
Exactly.
um so don't take on that guilt. Then next week we will talk about how to start the year off right, setting some goals,
Yeah, we'll
how
talk
to,
about some like personal goals as well as professional goals as
right.
dispatchers and things you should set for yourself.
Yeah, because I think that's really important. You need to set your work goals and then your personal goals. And a lot of times we neglect the personal side of things,
Yep.
or sometimes we get so wrapped up in that because something's not going right on in our personal life, and then we neglect the other. And there's got to be a balance there.
Yep. And then we've got a pretty exciting guest that'll be joining us. I don't really have any personal shout outs tonight other than just for all the folks that are working New Year's Eve out on the road. Just be careful and have fun. Hopefully, it's not busy and not too quiet.
That is
they're go-
rude.
they're gonna hate me. Yep. So we got some fun things coming up, guys. Got to keep listening, following, sharing, rating.
Yeah, on your Spotify app, you can answer questions. On Apple, you can give us a review. Tell us what you want to hear because we want to know. Tell us what you want us to talk about. All right, guys, have
Okay.
a safe and happy new year, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye. So, in the middle of recording this episode, we get a computerized voice, maybe through Casey's ceiling fan. We're not really sure, but this is how it went. The families tend not to understand.
Sunshine.
My only sunshine, what?
Did you hear that?
I did. What? That was creepy as shit. Did Carol Ann come visit Casey?
Guess she wants to be in on this podcast too.
I
Long
guess.
as she don't start clicking and clanking like she used to.
Oh man, that was creepy.
Yes.
Oh my God.
We're y'all, Carol Ann was our ghost in the comm center, and that bitch, she used to get angry and would
I,
start clicking and clanking and could be here typing in the back of the room where there's nobody sitting. Oh, man. Did you ever hear that?
I don't think
The
I ever heard
typing?
that.
Oh
No.
my God, that talk about some creepy shit.
Mm. I always laugh like on the, like, because a lot of times now I work 7 p.m. to 1 a.m., right? So, and the new people, I know that time when it gets a little queue and then it goes starts clanking and
Yeah,
they're like, what the fuck is that? And everybody's like, Carolyn.
like
They're
it's
like,
nothing.
what?
Yep.
Oh, we
Oh,
forgot to say about the
Carolyn.
ghost. Sorry.
Yep. Oh, Caroline. And Frank.
And Frank. Yeah.
Yeah, the other ghost.
Frank, the other ghost. Sure, there's quite a few of them.
Oh, I'm sure you're probably right. But
Seeing as how the cemetery's out the back window.
yes. And whatever just happened right here in this room, whew, not good.
Sunshine.
Sunshine.